Skidrow. My story with them begins when they began. When they released their first album, I fell. I fell for the hype and got the thing. And what I saw on the cover is not what I got. That punk looking cover was, yeah, better than your average Motley Crue clone, but still, um, I was not satisfied. And I was a kid. Anyway, there was this guy, a friend of mine, who was supposedly into them, mostly by the singles, and I gave it to him. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have, but I did. And then when the second one came out, they were all over the place. You couldn't avoid them. Rolling Stone magazine cover, and the such. Um, was a much better album, Slave to the Grind, of course. And going through my papers the other day, I found this old issue of Musician magazine. I don't have it where with Axl Rose on the cover. And I found this review by Charles M. Young. So I'm gonna read it to you. It goes like this. I saw these guys open for Aerosmith once, and vocalist Sebastian Bach seemed afflicted with some strange variant of Tourette's syndrome that caused him to scream the F word at least 4 times per fragment sentence. Noun, verb, adjective, adverb, participle, prefix, suffix, entropix. It's difficult to think of a particle of speech he missed. What if this is genetic? I thought. He is one of the prettiest young males of his generation, in a position to spread his seed all over the world. In 20 years, we could have a new race of humans who communicate entirely by inflicting the F word and pointing. I see a world in which it is impossible to lie, a world where politicians would have no jobs, a world without war, racism, or poverty, a world in which all are truly one, a pluribus F word. Thus, I'm disappointed to report that Slaves to the Grind, Skid Row's second album, displays the F word prominently in just one song, Get the Out. And even here we stumble into the bottomless bag of expressing oneself with several words at a time. Take the line, while I puke, I stink bitch, get me a drink. So here's where I'm supposed to play you something, which is gonna suck, but I play it anyway. Yeah. As a general rule of lyric writing, it's okay to use commas or not use commas, but it's not okay to resort to half measures. We are left wondering whether I does indeed stink and is commanding bitch to fetch him a drink, or if I is a stink bitch who gets himself a drink. In either case, the listener can only guess why I would want another drink after puking. The explanation offered in the next line, "'cause I'm paying for the room," raises more questions than it answers. The basic thesis of this album is that I finds it degrading to get bossed around by someone with more money. Why then does I feel entitled, on the basis of paying for the room, to boss around someone generous enough to perform oral sex? Take my tonsil glaze right down your throat. Even when he smells bad. Is I aware that Karl Marx once articulated a similar thesis without commanding any females to wrap their lips around his attitude? Do all stink bitches find apostrophes more amenable than commas? Perhaps Skid Row will answer these questions on their third album. In the meantime, I'll inflect the F word and point. That was Charles M. Young's review of Slaves to the Grind back in the 90s. The good times. Now we're just waiting for death.